issue. And that is about, they say that wisdom, really the very first stage of wisdom is to learn detachment. Especially detachment from things. See, what happens sometimes is that we become too emotionally dependent on things. And when we are dependent on things, we are not truly free. So what needs to happen is that we need to learn how to detach ourselves from things, and that is how wisdom begins. And they say that that's the very first step in wisdom. But the beautiful thing about it is that you can actually take practical steps in detaching yourself from things. So they would say, and this is just to keep it as American as possible, if one goes to the movies, suspense thriller, mystery, 20 minutes before the movie is over, can you walk out? But they said, that's not where the challenge is. The challenge is not in just walking out. They say that the real challenge is, can you walk out without leaving your heart behind? And then when you walk out, can you walk out and absolutely forget about, can you walk out and forget about wanting to find out what just took place, or what was the conclusion about this? So that is how we start liberating ourselves. It's Game 7, NBA Finals, 2 minutes are left, and the score is tied. Can you walk out? Well, can you walk out? Meaning that there is no attachment in my heart for things. And once we start doing this, that is when we start truly liberating ourselves. People would tell you, it's too much talking, too much eating, too much sleeping, too much socializing. So like Muhammad said earlier, if it is too much of anything, what do? We reduce that. And the only way that we are able to reduce is that if we have really learned the whole idea of, teaching ourselves to detach from things. And then when we grow a little older, meaning not older in years, but in our wisdom, we learn how to detach from people where it is unhealthy to keep their company. And eventually we become liberated and we become free. And that is the whole concept of Ramadan, is that we really learn how to detach from things. I see the food, but you know what? It's okay. It can wait. Almost the process of, how we are so used to immediate gratification. One of my favorite companies is a company called Immediate Gratification. Anybody seen that one? Immediate gratification. If you have a front yard or a backyard and you want to change the grass on it, they will do it immediately. Meaning that they will literally come, take away the grass that you don't like, and they have the grass in the form of carpets, and they will just spread it out and say it is immediate gratification. And that is how we sometimes love to live, especially living where we are. Everything is just immediately fixable. We have not really delayed immediate gratification. What we're looking for is delayed gratification. You've probably heard of this, the marshmallow experiment. It was basically bringing young people, like 6-year-old kids, boys and girls, brought them in a room, gave them marshmallow candies, and they said, look, you can take this one now, or if you just wait 10 minutes, you can get 2. And you have these kids sitting there. Now they've been recorded, but the kids don't know that they've been recorded. And it was lovely to see that some of the kids would take the marshmallow, smell it and put it back, and they would be looking at the clock. Some of the kids would take a lick and put it back, and some of the kids would just hold it and hug it and kiss it, and some of the kids just couldn't really, they just could not wait, and they would take a bite and put it back. And then the bite takes another bite, another bite, and by the end of it, when the tester comes back in 10 minutes, there is no marshmallow. Fine. But that's not where the experiment ends. They actually interviewed the same people 20 years later, just to see what happened to them. And here's what they found out. That the people who actually waited have graduated, done better in school, and they've actually saved money. The people who took that and ate it immediately, they found out that they were not doing as good at school, they were not graduating as soon, academically they were not achieving, and as far as savings, they did not have any of it. So now the idea is, can we learn to delay gratification? And once we do this, we say that we are definitely in the right step of achieving wisdom. Islam, wallahi, is not against pleasing the self, or Islam does not teach that, pleasure is not wealth, but, just say regulated so that you are in charge, not that they are in charge over you. And once we do this, we will say that we have achieved what we call the initial steps of wisdom. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all wisdom, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Eventually what happens is that they say that you become so good at controlling things that you eventually control your intentions, but then that beautifully they say that you control your thoughts. And somebody says, that's creepy. What do you mean control my thoughts? The average person gets how many thoughts a day? Take a guess. Who said 60,000? Stand up, please. Come on, please. Raise your hand then. You're wrong. So they say that the average person actually gets about 70,000 thoughts a day. So you say, wait a minute, how in the world am I supposed to control 70,000 a day? Say, no. See, we don't control the thoughts that come into our mind, but we definitely control which thoughts we want to dwell in. And that is wisdom, people. Being able to tell which thought is worthy of dwelling in. Think about it this way, and I'm done. That our thoughts, they are like a snowball. The more time we spend on them, the more intensity they accrue, the bigger they become, and the more speed they have. And they become unstoppable. So what happens is that don't wait for that snowball to get too big, because remember, a good number of thoughts that we have are actually not healthy. Or as somebody has so beautifully put it to me, said, Sheikh, why does it seem that everything that I like is either haram or illegal? So now what happens is that they say, it's actually where we are spending the time in the thoughts that is where it is unhealthy. So once again, Jazakumullah khair, it was beautiful being with you. And they say that never speak before food because everybody's saying yalla, 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 yalla. So I won't do that to you. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khair to the Sheikh and Brother Muhammad. We're actually going to go ahead and start the Shafi'i wal Mutir, and then we're going to take a break for food. So Muhammad, if you want to come.
That one? I wish that I had something like this. What's this?
مين؟
استووا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. صلاة الوتر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. بسم الله نور على نور والحمد لله الذي خلق النور وكلم موسى على جبل الطور وخلق الظلمات والنور. الحمد لله الذي